Hi, it's Megan. So this is going to be my last Tom Ford Lips and Voice video. So this concept that Tom Ford had of 50 shades of lipstick that are smaller minis, $32 for 0.07 ounces versus $50 for 0.1 ounce, which is actually, believe it or not, a great deal compared to what the regular price is. This is a better value. Just was something I couldn't process. 50 shades was way too much for me to just decide, especially without seeing advanced reviews or swatches or whatnot. And the Tom Ford site was actually pretty good about the pictures that they had. They had a model with the shades on her lips, and then they also had like the actual color itself, and so it was pretty good. But I saw it early the morning they became available and couldn't decide and ordered one, and then I watched them sell out because I checked back later in the day and I was just paralyzed. So I'm kind of late to the game on the Lips and Boys, but I still figured I would do a video. A lot of the ones I have are sold out. Sorry. But it just took me a while to get to the point where I could process 50 shades. And then once I got them, I've been kind of puzzling over why are these shades worth $50 in the full size or $32 for a mini. So what is a mini? So it comes like this. I actually was returning something at Nordstrom. Someone asked about the lip color I was wearing. I'm like, oh, it's a Tom Ford. And I showed her, and she's like, oh, it's so cute, it's so little. And it is, it's cute, it's little, but it's not like a total mini like those free ones that you get with a lot of promotions. It's a little bit bigger than those. Those are usually like under 0.05 ounce, depending on the brand. So it's the pretty Tom Ford packaging. And I thought about it, and I've got Julian on right now. This is the one I'm starting with. And Julian just came today. The others I had over the weekend and was deciding what to do with. I wanted to do the last video, but Julian actually got lost in the mail, which is really great considering that it was sold out. But they found it and it got here. I thought, why are these so amazing? So first of all, the shades are beautiful tonally. They just work on skin tones. And that's something that I've kind of learned as I get more and more into makeup, is that things can look really pretty off of people, but there are certain brands and companies that do shades that work really well on people. So I'd use Laura Mercier as an example of someone who does really great neutral natural shades. And then I would use NARS as an example of someone who really pushes the envelope sometimes, but when NARS gets it right, the shades are just amazing on people. And Tom Ford, I think, plays it a little safe, but hits the mark every time. And that's what I would say about these. They tend to be high sheen. Oh, there's Kit Kat, here and gone. High sheen overall, a creamy light emollient formula. They tend to have almost opaque coverage. And the reason why that's an advantage is that sometimes blending in a little bit of a woman's natural lip color into the shade actually makes it, not surprisingly, more flattering. So they're almost opaque. I will get a little bit of loss in my top upper lip with some of the shades because they aren't fully opaque, but because of the glossiness, you don't really know, I don't really notice it as much. And then a lot of them have a little bit of a shimmer to it, not all. So anyway, the first one I have on is Julian. And this one I'm going to have the worst pictures for and the worst swatch, and I apologize. The others I was able to take in better light. But I really just, I wanted to get this video up, and it came when it was already getting dark out, so I figured I would do my best. So this is Julian. And this is very cool toned. It's like a lilac pink, and I actually pulled my NARS Vanessa and compared it, and they are so not even the same. It's just, there's so many things that are different, it's not even worth going into. But this is definitely lilac-y pink as opposed to pink lilac. You can see that on my lips. It's got a real muted tan look to it. It's very luminous on, and it's also a cool tone color. I've been wearing it. This one I'm going to have, like I said, the worst kind of feedback on. I've been wearing it. It wears really evenly. It doesn't bleed. It doesn't stain. One of the ones I have actually does stain, two of them. And I get a little loss of the top upper lip, but it's got a really pretty sheen, a little bit of a, I don't know, shimmer gloss to it. It's a very pretty shade with blue eyes because it has that lilac-y thing to it. This one, I'm actually really glad I got. The next one, and I'm going to change these on camera so you can see the impact that my lips have on them. my lip color, which is pretty pigmented. The next one is Michael. And this is a really bright medium pink. It's kind of a warm to cool shade. And it has like a frosted finish. This one I'm actually going to do a tutorial on. Julian is like an everyday color for me. That's something that I have to watch the other lips. If you see the staining on my lips, this is actually from Michael. I put a foundation on my lips before I put Julian on. So Michael definitely stains my lips. It's a bright, bright, beautiful pigmented shade. The warmth comes almost, I don't know, I feel like it's a super pink shade, but I almost see a little coral undertone to it, which I haven't seen in any of the reviews, but as I look at it on me, I don't know, I see it. That's where the warmth comes from, but it's still on the cooler end. I would say a flamingo coral, which to me is a little bit of a cooler coral as opposed to a super orange warmer coral. So I'm going to do a tutorial on this shade because as I was looking at it, I'm like, what do you do with a shade like this? Like, it's really pretty and it pops and everything. It's great with blue eyes. This one honestly might migrate to my daughter because she's got cooler undertones to her skin and I think it'll look a lot prettier on her than on me. But I'd love feedback or thoughts as to what color eyeshadow you would wear with a lip color like this. I will get there and I will do the tutorial, but we're not there at this particular moment. The next one, and by the way, I give you a spoiler. I think that every shade I got for this video is really, really gorgeous. Not sure for this video I picked the best shades for me, but that's okay. I like Julian on me. Henry, I'm less sure of. So Henry, and you can see it's opaque enough coverage that it does get rid of that bright, glossy, corally pink. Henry is like a muted, medium dark, orangey brown, and then it has like this gold micro shimmer into it, which is a much lighter kind of tonal shift to it. This was in the Nude Browns collection. So Julian was in the Violets to Orchids, Michael was in the Pop Pink to Roses, and now I have the Nude Browns. Henry, I think this is a little brown on me. I think it's a really amazing, gorgeous, sophisticated, almost perfect color. And this one I guess is based on Warm Sable, or it is Warm Sable, which is an old collection, and I'm new to to Tom Ford, so I haven't bought the old ones. This is from an older collection. It was a limited edition, it's gone. So this one was one of the early ones to sell out, and I can see why. I think for the right person this is like the ultimate bomb be-all shade, and you can see this one I get no loss on my top upper lip. It's a really beautiful color. It's got just, again, the thing about the Tom Ford, that sophistication and the sheen that makes it much more wearable for just about everyone. So he did a great job with this color. I think on me it's probably an 8 out of a 10 as opposed to a 10 out of a 10, but that's more the shade with me versus the shade itself. So I really like this shade. This is one I actually would not give away. It's never going to be the most flattering, but it's such a great shade overall. Leonardo. This is a medium dark, cooler red. I was actually surprised at this shade. I don't know, this looked very different on me than I expected. So you can see it's almost like a pink undertone to it, and then it has a very kind of ruby shimmer to it. And by ruby I mean just like a real red, scarlet. And this one I thought was very, very different on me than what I'd seen online. I think it's brighter on me. I think it's, and that ruby sparkle is just unexpected. It's a beautiful shade. It's not quite as opaque as I expected as well. And yeah, it's not as opaque. It's almost got a semi-sheer look to it, which when I had seen it online, I just thought of it as more of a true red as opposed to kind of this sheer, sparkly, very pretty, cool toned red. So I don't have a complaint about it. It's just not exactly what I expected. It's still beautiful. And all of these, this one actually stained. So the two that stained were Michael and Leonardo. The other two did not stain. They all last beautifully. I would say The one that lasts the shortest is Julian, and I've only had that for a few hours, but that one seems to last about 2 hours. The others last 3+ with, yeah, I think 3+. I don't think any of them last longer than that. I don't get bleeding, I don't get fading, I don't get creasing. They're just a really, it's a really pretty line. So overall, I am impressed with the Tom Ford Lips and Boys. Tom Ford was a new discovery for me in 2014, and it was an unfortunate one because they're pricey, but I actually really like it. So one of my new thoughts for 2015 is that when a new collection comes out, I'm going to get one item only in any new collection, because there's got to be one item that's like the end-all be-all. So if you have thoughts on that as well, I'd like to hear it. If you have thoughts on these lipsticks, I'd love to hear it. Please subscribe on YouTube, and I will leave you with this question. Is $32 a reasonable price for a somewhat mini, because it's not a full-size mini, like full mini lipstick? Are these worth it? I'd love to hear. Anyway, that's it. Thanks. Please subscribe on YouTube. And this is, I promise, I'm not buying any more of these, my last Tom Ford Lips and Boys video.